So if you're watching any of the headlines lately, you're probably wondering, are we in the middle of a housing market correction? Well, let's break it down. Hi, I'm Nick with the Iannitti Group. I want to come at you with a real quick housing update for June here, 2022. So are we in a housing market correction? Well, I understand why a lot of people might start to think that, right? If you've been following, especially the market, whether you're looking on Zillow or Realtor or whatever you use, you've probably seen about a quarter to a third of homes are experiencing price reductions that are listed on the market right now, right? So people start to think, oh, are the prices of homes starting to slide? Actually, I think what's really more going on there is people that overestimated the market. They probably are not working with a top line real estate professional that can explain to them that we're not in the same market as we were in the beginning of the year. So that's kind of to be expected. And a lot of that is directly related to our rise in interest rates over the past couple of months, right? So I want to start right there. When we look at the interest rates that we have right now, we're probably really, the Fed just raised the rate, I think a day or so ago, by 3/4 of a point. So we're probably closer to 6%. But again, from an historic standpoint, all the way back to the 70s, interest rates are still at a pretty sustainable level. I understand there's a lot of people in the market right now that are younger and don't have this frame of reference all the way back to the 70s and 80s. All they've ever known is the past 10 years or so, and they think rates are spiraling out of control. But historically, that's simply not the case, right? Again, when we talk about a price correction too, as far as Investopedia, it's important to define it. Investopedia says a correction is a decline of 10% or greater in the price of a security or asset or financial market, right? But right now, the stock market, I think the other day, had a 20% decrease. However, home prices have not come down yet, okay? And actually, the majority of economists forecasting for 2022 are calling for about a 9% appreciation nationwide in the housing market. So definitely not price declining, okay? However, Daniel Hale, chief economist at Realtor.com, said the housing market is at a turning point. That's what a lot of people are noticing right now. We're starting to see signs of a new direction, but the ball is still in a seller's court in most housing markets. So what that means is basically, again, back to simple supply and demand, months worth of inventory. We need 6 months of inventory for a healthy housing market. We're at about 1 month worth of inventory. So still very much the ball is in the seller's court. However, what we're seeing with this increase in interest rates, with an increase in the cost of the money, the buyer pool is starting to shrink, right? There's less buyer demand. Keep in mind, for every increase in percentage point of a mortgage rate, that decreases a buyer's purchasing power by 10%. That's huge, okay? But what I think is really more at work, again, with the interest rates as well, is basically us returning back to more of a normal market, getting over this pandemic kind of flare up, right? If we look at the latest showing data we have from Showing Time, we're seeing that obviously we're still, this is pre-pandemic over here, 2019, showings are still way up from before, right? But I think we're going to start to settle back down towards this line and get back to a more normal market, okay? Keep in mind right now, as far as, home prices and where they're at, we're still looking at seasonally adjusted existing home sales of about, a little over 5 million homes. Okay, so again, back to this pre-pandemic level, we see this flare up here, when things kind of went crazy during COVID, because a lot of people were able to migrate in different places. Home became a lot of different things to people, whatever. But still, we're kind of trending back more towards this pre-pandemic of where we were at. Okay, our average days on market is about 17 days. We know that's definitely up from the beginning of the year. It's actually a little bit more now that we're in June. Average number of offers has come down since the beginning of the year. Seller traffic, I thought this was kind of interesting. We've definitely seen less seller traffic, although as of late, I think we just started to see inventory levels starting to go up marginally. And I think that's due to people, a lot of sellers thinking that, again, with some of these price reductions, they think, we're somewhere around the top of the market, so they want to kind of get out while the getting's good. That's probably what we're actually seeing, but we definitely know buyer traffic levels have definitely dropped off, right? And some people are just simply being priced out of the equation. They can no longer afford the larger home or the better location or something that they were trying to accomplish, just simply due to the cost of the money. Okay, so what's ahead for us? There's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, Mike Frantantoni from MBA said Mortgage rates are likely to plateau near these levels, somewhere around this 6%. The financial markets have attempted to price in the impact of the Fed actions over the cycle, and they're also likely, the pricing, the economic slowdown that will result. Okay, he does think though, after we get past this volatility and once people realize these rates are kind of the new normal, home buyer will start to, re-enter the market. We'll see more buyer demand kind of stepping up. Okay, keep in mind though, again, we're still forecasting about 6 million homes to be sold here in 2022. Okay, Realtor.com thinks that experts don't believe the market's in a bubble or a crash. Basically, what they see though is the nation is still suffering from a housing shortage that has reached crisis proportions at a time when many millennials are reaching the age when they start to consider home ownership. This is likely to keep prices high. Keep in mind right now that millennials make up 43% of the buyer pool, right? So definitely they're not going away. They're only getting older. They're definitely going to be looking for homes, and we still need to solve our inventory crisis. That's not going to change. But this is the next thing, right? In the headlines. Keep in mind, headlines are there to terrify, not really there to clarify. But it's important that we have this recession talk. That the National Bureau of Economic Research defines a recession as a significant decline in economic activity spreading across the economy lasting more than a few months. I like to use the old definition of basically negative GDP for 2 consecutive quarters. We've already had 1 quarter of negative GDP here, and it's looking like we're probably headed for a recession most likely this year. However, if you follow my monthly videos, what does a recession mean for home prices, right? Well, historically, not much, right? There have been 6 recessions going all the way back to the 1980s. 4 of them, the prices actually increased. Okay, 3 of them by 6%, right? Now, yes, okay, in 2008, right here, we saw this correction of 19.7%, but realize that this recession was actually brought on by the crash of the housing market. So they were directly related. But by and large, over the 5 out of the last 6 recessions, home prices are not critically tied to a recession. So just because even if we do hit a recession here this year, it's not likely prices are going to come down, or that's not going to be the cause of it anyway. So Shivani Peterson, mortgage expert, thinks that if you're looking to buy a home, they would still recommend you do so even in higher interest rates, because there is no reason to believe that home prices will stop appreciating. Home values going up is only a problem when you're trying to buy. When you own, it's a gift. This is probably what we're going to see. If you watch my videos again for months and months, I've been telling you that 18% appreciation is not sustainable. We're probably going to get back to somewhere around that 3 to 5%, back to more of a normal market. Okay. So anyway, if you have, questions about what does this data mean to you? Is it still a good time for you to sell your home or buy a new home? I'm more than happy to have that conversation with you. If you want to know what your home is worth or what's going on in your neighborhood, of course, just reach out. Again, always happy to have the conversation. So thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, who you guys choose to negotiate for you absolutely matters.